I'm here to be an all-time great.
You're now rocking with the best.
Purple yellow, purple yellow, purple yellow, purple yellow.
The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles.
Welcome to the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast.
Oh, he's smoking hot.
The latest Laker news.
Another great Showtime feed.
The greatest Lakers show.
This is going to be legendary for a long time.
This is the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast.
Lakers all day.
Go Lakers!
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Big Baby here, man. Welcome to another episode of Big Baby Sports, man. I got Aaron Larsuel from Official Podcast Lakers, man. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, man, to come on the show, man. Hope all is well with you and the family, man.
Thank you, and you as well. And by the way, that intro, I love it. Okay, I love the intro. All right.
Yep. Shout out to Angry Lakers fan, man. But yeah, man, let's get into it, man. So Lakers got Darvin Ham. What is the expectations for Darvin Ham as the first-year coach of the Los Angeles Lakers?
Well, that's that's always the question, right? Because you do all of your due diligence and you try to put a first-year guy in the best position to succeed. Mm-hmm. You try to figure out, what qualities you have, and you select off that. But to be fair, he is a first-time head coach, and so you don't know exactly. But the expectations for him and for the Lakers are what the expectations always are, and that is to compete for a championship. The expectation is that he's going to hold guys accountable. Obviously, he has his history as a former player and has some really good experience as an assistant coach around the league, and the guys really like him. So the expectation is for Darvin, even in his first year, the expectation is to kind of steer the ship in a way that puts the Lakers in championship contention, because that is always the expectation with the Lakers.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. Championship or bust, man. I feel like Darvin Ham's going to get these guys to play hard, play with passion, and I'm looking forward to see how he's going to implement the offense with Anthony Davis, LeBron, Westbrook, and all that. So with the other young guys like Austin Reeves, Lenny Walker, how do you feel like those guys are going to implement with Darvin Ham as a coach?
So far so good. And Darvin Ham is a worker. He expects effort. I haven't seen Lonnie around much yet, but Austin, obviously the reports are, and I've seen some of this, is he's been working, working out 2 and 3 times a day to get ready to hopefully play bigger minutes this year than he did last year. That was kind of the thing last year, is it seemed like he ran into the rookie wall a little bit, and there was times that he could get bullied by bigger and stronger guys, grown men, obviously. And so the hope is that he builds up some of that strength. And these are guys who have had time in NBA weight programs, and NBA weight programs are quite a bit different than college weight programs, right? And you have more time to dedicate to it. You're not going to class and such. So I think with Austin specifically, him building up his body is going to give him an opportunity to, respond to the asks from this roster this season and from Coach Ham.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for Austin Reeves. I'm just excited for this team, man. Like last season, it didn't go so well. Too many injuries, man. And I keep it real, like on my show, man. It was a failed season because we didn't win a ring. So that's how I look at it, So it's unfortunate we didn't win the championship last year. But I feel like Darvin Ham's going to get this team, like I said, fight with passion, hustle. We're going to compete every night, and Darvin Ham's going to keep it real.
Yeah, I think that's job one. Baby, I think that's job one is. Yeah. And LeBron has said it, and in Chris Haynes' piece, it was reiterated from Chris Haynes' piece a couple of days ago that LeBron didn't feel like, and if you're watching, it was true, that the team didn't compete hard enough in every night and give themselves a chance to win. So I think that is job one, is competing every single night, because frankly, like after last season. Frankly, the team isn't good enough to just walk into any arena on any night and think that these other guys are going to lay down. So competing is job one. Competing every night is job one. And I think that's you talked about the expectations for Coach Ham. I think that is number one expectation, is getting the guys to play hard and compete every night.
Yeah, most definitely. Like you said, LeBron felt like they didn't compete last season. And Lakers were not competing so like Lakers were. I remember there was one game where Lakers were getting blown out so bad. Jimmy Bus left the stadium. It was that bad. I think I was out thinking no, I was at the game.
Well, look, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know which game specifically you're referring to, but I saw you around the arena a few times at Staples and then Crypto.
Yeah.
So like any of us with eyes could see it, right? It wasn't like the effort wasn't good enough every single night. You can see that.
Yeah, it wasn't. But hey, we can learn from last year, build upon it, get better. That's all we can really do. As far as LeBron, man, like it's going to be interesting to see how he does in this 20th season, man. How do you feel like LeBron's going to do this season for the Lakers?
I mean, LeBron is an alien, right? LeBron is he's an alien. So I mean, at some point, father time comes for us all, right?
Yeah.
And there's been little tiny bits you can see here and there, but when LeBron still turns it on, he is, and he can't do it every night. That's part of now being in his 20th season, last year in his 19th season. But when he turns it on, and part of it is in the roster and the team around him has to give him some reason to have those moments where he turns it on. But when he turns it on, when he turns it up, I'm not sure. I don't think LeBron's the best player in the world anymore. But when he turns it up, he reaches a level that very few people ever have. Still in his 19th, now going into 20th season. Jayden is mentioning here, yes, I expect him to break the scoring record at some point this season, passing Kareem. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see just from the beginning of the season, how LeBron views everything and what positions he puts himself in. How much is he going to be on the ball? How much not? All of these questions. But LeBron is going to be LeBron. LeBron's going to play. We can't predict health, but assuming health or reasonable health, LeBron's going to play at an all NBA level because he's LeBron James.
Yeah, most definitely, man. LeBron. I feel like LeBron breaks scoring record and stuff, but who is the best player in the world to you, in your opinion, in personal opinion?
Giannis.
Giannis?
I think it's. I think Giannis is clear of everybody. 2, 3 to me at this point is I would say Steph and KD. I think Steph, KD, and LeBron. I'm not going to make an argument with you if you want 2, 3, 4, whatever order you want. I'm not going to argue with them. With you. I think Giannis is in a tier by himself. I think Steph, KD, and LeBron are probably in the next tier, 2, 3, 4. Put them whatever order you want. I guess I would put Steph at the top of the list just because we saw him dominate in the finals and win Finals MVP. So that has to count for something. But yeah, I wouldn't quibble with anybody who other than Giannis. 2, 3, 4 to me is KD, Steph, and LeBron. Put them in whatever order you want.
Yeah, same. I feel like Giannis, man, is the best big man in the game, best player in the game. You got LeBron, you got Kevin Durant. You got all these upcoming guys, Luka Doncic.
Yeah, Luka's in that conversation too. Definitely. I don't think he's quite to that level of the other three yet, and I would say the same thing about Joker. He's right there. Jason Tatum is on his way. There's the NBA is in good hands going forward.
You got Devin Booker. You got all these. So
we got to see. I mean, because last we saw Kawhi. Kawhi was right in that conversation too. But who knows?
Yeah, Kawhi, man. We'll see what happens. But like as far as like we gotta get into him. And Anthony Davis. How do you feel like Darvin Ham is? I feel like to me personally, man, I feel like Darvin Ham's gonna push Anthony Davis to be like how Giannis was when he was coaching in Milwaukee. What do you think about that?
I mean, their games are pretty different. Giannis and AD. Like as far as physical talent, they are. Like AD is one of those guys that has the physical gifts that maybe like not quite to the level of Giannis, but pretty damn close. But their games are different. But I do think that Coach Ham, that experience with Giannis and like you seeing what player Giannis has developed into, being able to take that and try to put some of that into AD as far as what it takes to get there. And look, AD, when he's right, is one of the best, whatever, 7 or 10 or 11, whatever, like you put him on whatever list you want. Like AD is up there. Let's not get it twisted. AD is an all-time great. But he hasn't, the last couple seasons have not gone how we would all like it. And frankly, how he would like it to go. So I think that that experience that Coach Ham had, and the fact that Coach Ham has been through the wars, right? He was a player, and he is a guy that has expectations of work and effort. I think these are going to be all good things for AD. I expect, I've heard some people say they expect, an MVP type performance out of AD, and we've all kind of been waiting for that one season where it all comes together, kind of like it did in the bubble for AD. So I don't know if I expect that, but if health, and again, we can't predict health, but I think it's going to be a big bounce back year from AD.
Most definitely, man. I feel like AD's he hears the noise. He hears all the noise. He probably heard what Kevin Garnett said about him. He's going to dominate this season, man. I feel.
By the way, I'm gonna let you in a little inside secret about the NBA. They all hear the noise. They all hear everything. They all read everything. They all see everything. They all hear everything. Every dude who tells you, I tune it all out, I don't see what's written about me, I don't hear what's said about me, they're lying to you.
So AD, man, hopefully you have a bounce back season. I'm excited for the season. But like the draft picks that we got, Scottie Pippen, how do you feel like he's going to do? Do you think he'll make the roster this season? Scottie Pippen Jr.?
Well, he's on the two-way deal. So yeah, I think there will be times where he's up with the big club. I think Cole Swider has a more prominent role with the big club, just because he has one thing that he can do at an NBA level already, period. He can shoot it. And that is something that is lacking on this roster. And Cole can shoot it, period. So I expect him to be sort of on the fringes of the like real rotation for the Lakers. I don't expect Max Christie to play much, but I think Swider has has a chance at some real time, some real rotation minutes. And there's a lot to like about all of their games. I just think as far as this upcoming season, I think the one that you're going to hear from most and see most is Cole Swider.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I like his game. He says he's the best shooter in the draft. I don't know if that's Rob Pelinka's son, LOL. Rob Pelinka's son? No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, man, I just like what we did. I know a lot of people say don't take Summer League for what it is, but I saw competitiveness. I saw a lot of guys playing hard, and I just like what we're going right now, the direction. But Russell Westbrook, man, how do you feel like he's going to do this year with under Darvin Ham's system?
I mean, it's an open question. I wish I had a better answer for you, but it's an open question because – a lot of the right things were said before last season, and last season, as we've been talking about, did not go how all of us wanted it to go. I think Russ has gotten too much blame for that specifically, but he certainly, we can do a blame pie. He certainly has a big portion of it. He didn't fit. Here's what it is. I think Russ has now become underrated as a player in a vacuum, but the fit is the problem. So I can't answer your question. I mean, the question is, how do I think Russ is going to do? I can't answer your question without knowing if Russ is going to implement the things that would maximize his value on this roster. Not maximize his value as a basketball player in a vacuum, maximize his value to this roster specifically. And I mean, I would like to have a better answer for you. The honest answer is I don't know. And none of us will know until it happens. If Russ is on the roster when the season starts, none of us will know until, the real stress comes, because that when there's real moments of stress, right? Like I don't like making these like war analogies because this isn't war, right? And then we call athletes heroes in war and battle and no, okay, right? No. There's real people like risking their lives. So I don't like using those analogies, but like you don't know what somebody is going to revert back to until like the bullets start flying, right? Because that puts you back into your muscle memory and whatever is comfortable for you. And you can't tell if somebody has actually been able to make these changes until they're put in stressful situations where your brain shuts off. So we won't have an answer until the regular season. I don't want to hear it, right? Like everybody, whether it's Coach Ham, whether it's LeBron, whether it's AD, whether it's Russ, like everybody can say whatever, but we're not going to have these answers until we see people put in stressful basketball situations. None of this is really stressful. We're all very lucky to do what we do. None of this is really stressful. But stressful basketball situations where you are forced into reverting back to what is your basic stuff. And then we can see if Russ really is willing to change his game in the ways necessary that he can fit with this roster. Because otherwise, it's going to be a repeat of last season, at least for Russ, if he's on the roster.
Yeah, if he's on a roster. If he is, let's run it. Let's do what we have to do. And do you feel like what was your take on the whole, I don't have any expectations this year when Russ Westbrook said that? What do you think about that? Was that a little bit taken out of context?
I think that, no, I don't think it was taken out of context.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, Russ has a contentious, or not, he can have a contentious relationship with the press. There's a bunch of, viral clips of him responding to people asking him questions after games and all of that. And so I think that, and Russ is a really smart guy and he's a really good dude, but I think sometimes he just gets frustrated with all the process and just says stuff just to be done with shit. Yeah. And so, no, I don't think it was taken out of context because, we heard him say it and watched him say it. So, yeah, I think it was a very frustrating season. I think last year was a very frustrating time for Russ. And right, it was a frustrating time for people that are within the organization. It was a very frustrating time for Lakers fans, right? It was frustrating for all of us. But yeah, no. So no, I don't. To answer your question, no, I don't think it was taken out of context. I think it was a bad look for Russ, but I think it was Russ just wanting to be done with people asking him shit.
Yeah, most definitely. But for me, man, as a Laker, you shouldn't say that. I don't have any expectations. If Kobe Bryant was on this Laker team, and if you heard Westbrook say that, how do you think Kobe would take it?
I mean,
as far as how Kobe has expectations of championship or bust, win championships, and if you heard Westbrook say that just rubbed me the wrong way as a Laker fan. You don't say that as a Laker. You're supposed to say, we're going to win the championship. Expectations is win the championship. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I have a very long-standing policy of not. I don't want to tell fans how to fan, right? You fan however you fan. You root however you root. What matters to you matters to you. And so I don't like telling fans how to fan. I think that's wrong to do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if that's how you feel, you're a Laker fan. If that's how you feel, then ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You're as long as fans out there, Lakers fans out there, big baby fans out there, you root however you root. You fan however you fan. And I'm not going to tell you you're fanning wrong. I don't believe in that. So however it feels to you, that's fine. As long as you're not being disrespectful, you fan however you fan. Feel however you feel.
Shout out to the 94X50 women's basketball nerd. Thank you, Daniel Artest. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. One final question, man.
Yeah.
Give us a story about Kobe Bryant that you experienced that touched you, inspired you.
Wow. So I was around Kobe a bunch, but I wasn't around as much, obviously, as I am now, or part of the organization or whatever it is, until after Kobe had retired. But the thing that stuck out most to me about him, and I had a few conversations with him privately, which we don't need to get into now, but the thing that stuck out most to me was for his jersey retirement. There was a party for his jersey retirement night, and just the people there that were so obviously touched by him personally, but also his game and his career and all of that. Just the adulation and the love that even people that all of the rest of us mere mortals, we have that adulation for them. They had it for Kobe. And it was just fascinating to see. And there was a big party, but all the all-time Laker greats were out and came to it, and they all say the greatest Laker of all time is Kobe. Kareem will tell you that. Magic will tell you that. Shaq had it. Shaq did a DJ set. This was upstairs at Staples Center. Shaq did a DJ set. Kendrick Lamar did a set, and it was just everybody, even these all-time great NBA players, put Kobe on a different level. And so that was really fascinating to see and incredible to see. And then obviously I got to catch up with him a little bit. I want to say I think it was New Year's Eve. It was the last game that Kobe went to and brought his daughter. And I got to the one where he kind of was going back and forth and talking mess to Luka in his native language. I got to spend a few minutes with him at that game, and it was unfortunately the last one that he was able to go to. But just like his place amongst his peers is what really stands out to me. And everybody, all the NBA greats now, NBA greats of the past, they're all like, everybody loves Kobe. They're all Kobe guys. So that is his place among his peers, and what I've gotten to see from that, or see how they react to him has always been pretty special to me. Yeah, more so than like talking shit and bumping into him at the Ralph's in Newport and like chopping it up, like more so than that. Yeah,
man. Kobe will be missed, but his legacy lives on, man. And
always.
He followed me on Twitter.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he followed me on Twitter. We had a conversation. And,
I did not know. See, I didn't get the Kobe follow. Hey, okay, big baby.
Because there was Lakers and Spurs in the playoffs when he tore his Achilles, and said, "What do the Lakers need to do to win this game?" I said, "Throw the ball to Pau Gasol, rotate, move the ball from side to side." 10 minutes later, got a follow. And I was jumping for joy. My brother was like, "What's going on, dude? What's going on?" I'm like, "Kobe Bryant just followed me." He's like, "No, he didn't." I showed him. That was crazy, man. Kobe Bryant followed me.
That's a cool moment.
I just want to give a shout out to Genie Bus. Keep doing great things, and marathon continues. But Aaron Larsuel, man, thank you for joining Big Baby Sports, man. Everybody go follow Aaron Larsuel on Twitter, man. Go ahead and give out your social media so they can follow you, man.
Well, you know what? Creatively enough, it is just my name. So on Instagram, on Twitter, at Aaron Larsuel, AARON LARSUEL.
Most definitely, man. Thank you for coming on, and peace out, Laker Nation.
My pleasure. Be good, brother, but not that good.
I'm here to be an all-time great.
You're now rocking with the best.
Purple yellow, purple yellow, purple yellow, purple yellow.
The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles.
Welcome to the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast.
Oh, he's smoking hot.
The latest Laker news.
Another great Showtime feed.
The greatest Lakers show.
This is going to be legendary for a long time.
This is the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast.
Lakers all day.
Go Lakers.